Welcome back to our classic home, and today again we're going to be talking about countertops. Countertop videos on my channel are pretty famous. I don't know why, but you guys really like the countertop stuff. I really like to focus on decorating and thrifting, all that, but you all seem to like the countertops, and I need to do my countertops again anyways. Because of the last video, I actually reviewed 3 different paints to do your countertops with, and appliance paint was the winner out of all. You can go back and see that video. I'll link it below. This time I'm going to take a less stinky route, because the appliance paint, although extremely durable, it was very smelly, and I don't want to deal with that. We actually got over COVID not too long ago, and I can't do it. So anyways, these are the cups that I'm going to be using, and these are the supplies I'm going to be using. Glaze, very important. I got this one, I believe, at Lowe's. And we have the polyacrylic, which after we finish our design, we're going to use. If you think that your countertops are going to be extremely used in a certain area, I suggest several coats of that. And then these are the colors that I have chosen. We have some gray, we have some darker gray, and of course we have the base of white, which I did not show you. But most of my counters are white anyways, they're just scratched here and there. So we're using some foam brushes and a little roller. So the rollers we're going to use for the base coat, because that's what's going to be used the most, and some little spoons to mix the glaze with the paint, and also this natural sea sponge that I got also at Lowe's. So these are the supplies that you will need. Also, I would suggest some gloves perhaps, and maybe a fan if you want to dry it quickly. So here's the sea sponge. There are several designs. You can use the flatter area. You can use the area with more texture. Depends what you want. Now, I'm going to link below the video tutorial that I followed. She is a beautiful artist lady. Her name is Amy, and I'm going to link her video that I followed for my countertops here. So, but she's an expert and I am not. So if you want to go ahead and see this video and see how it goes for me, then you may have some idea how it will go for you. So here are the 3 cups with my 3 colors, and I'm going to pour the same amount of paint to glaze and water into these 3 cups. Now this is the first color that I'm using, which is khaki, and this other one is the lighter gray, and I got the darker gray. Now I got all these at Walmart. Honestly, I just did a grocery pickup, and I just included these. I included the cups, I included the spoons, and the other several things is the only things that I got at Lowe's. Here's the glaze that I'm using, and the reason why we're using the glaze is because we want time for the paint not to dry so quickly. So the glaze kind of gives it like a window of time that you can like fix your design. You can tamp it down a little more. You can change things if you like. So I think it's really important for the glaze to be in there. And very soon I'm going to be putting some water, and it's going to be the same amount of everything. It's a third of paint, a third of water, and a third of glaze. Now it's really important, since you have these 3 ingredients in here, for you to stir this extremely well. We don't want any clumps in there. We don't want any lighter spots. We want everything to be very even. Now with the sponge, you're going to tamp down your design. Now, what Amy said in her video, I think her name is Amy Howard, her video will be linked below, is that you start to one corner and you end up in the opposite corner, upper right hand corner, because that's how stone, if you've seen stone, like natural stone, you've seen it kind of end up that way, kind of diagonal style. So, and then she also said to make little areas where there's no paint, like make little circles, and then I promise it'll look better. In fact, I did not like this color, so I erased the whole thing and started all over again. You see, with glaze, you can do that. So I just cleaned the entire place off, and then I just decided to use a different color. Now, I already had white on here, but there were some spots where it had chipped and had some issues, so I did cover that part. Now, you would have to choose your own base color. Mine was white, but I already had white, so you can go ahead and roll on the base color that you want for your countertop. Now, here I'm going with the darkest gray that I have, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm making these circles in random areas, not filling in the middle, because later on we're going to fill this in. Now remember, we have some leeway here because we used the glaze in our paint, so it is not going to dry quickly, so we have time to blend all this in. And this is key. Make sure everything is completely blended. We do not want the 1990s sponge look. So we're trying to go for something natural looking. So right now it looks terrible, but I promise you it's going to come out so pretty. I really, really love how this came out, and it gives us some more time to save up for those countertops. And I'm actually very happy with the turnout on this. Now, it took me a long time to put this video together, so I think I already put the second color on here, but I think I did. And now, of course, it looks terrible, right? We don't want these little splotches here and there. So what we do is we get a cloth, a lint-free cloth, and Amy Howard, she suggests to use a piece of t-shirt. So I did do that. I had some ugly t-shirts. So what you do is you blend the circles in. So where the circles that you made, you're going to go ahead and start blending it in. You don't want any rough spots to make it look like that's where you sponged exactly. It has to be the only word I can come up with is very dreamy. So there is no harsh lines to it. So you probably noticed that putting down the paint was actually a very, very quick process. It is the tamping down and the mixing and the blending. The blending is what takes the longest, because you'd have to sit back, you have to stand back and just look at it and say, okay, does this look like something I would see on a marble or on a granite countertop, on a quartz countertop? So you have to use your judgment. You have to step back and look at it. So you see here, I don't have a very good tripod, so bear with me here. I just picked up my little phone stand and I started. So once you see your rag kind of gray already, I actually should have changed out the rag at this point, because really what you're doing is you're now transferring the paint that you took off elsewhere, you're adding it here. And really what we want to do is kind of pick up the paint off of the countertop so it can look blended. So I should have done that. So just learn from my mistake and have several of these. I would say the size of my kitchen, I would say probably have about 6 of those. And you know, it actually did not take really long. My whole kitchen was done in about, I think, 2 to 3 days, and only because I did not want the whole kitchen not functional. So what I did was I used the areas that we least use, and then kept everything, the toaster and everything, on one side of the kitchen where I didn't do anything to. So I let everything dry. When everything was good, then I transferred everything to the painted countertops. And then that way, you know, it's not a big disturbance to the family because this is the only kitchen we have. Now give it all a good look and make sure you have all the spots blended in. That's really important. Now, this is the coolest thing. Amy Howard said that you need to mix water with the white paint. And now it's going to look like I'm erasing everything, but I'm not. I let the bottom completely 100% dry. I would say wait a couple of hours for it to dry. And then on the top of it, you're going to use the glaze and the paint, white paint. So this will go on top of it. But what you're going to do is going to use another one of those rags, and then you're going to remove some of this white paint. So it just looks like a very beautiful, cloudy kind of, you can see the design, but in a very dreamy way. It just looks really nice. It looks like a real stone. Now I have to say I did a way better job on this island than in the rest of the countertops. I actually have to mix the white paint with glaze and put it over it again on the other parts of the kitchen because I guess I was tired already. I don't know. That's why a lot of times I say take your time, do one part of your project, wait a couple of days and do another part of the project, because then you'll make mistakes like I did. So anyways, it came out so nice, and it's not something I cannot fix. I mean, I could always go back and put the white glaze over everything in the rest of the kitchen. Now I am so in love with this. Look at this. It looks so good. I still haven't put the polyacrylic on top, but this is looking absolutely beautiful. I love it so much. And now that we've used the kitchen with these countertops, I've had maybe one little chip that, you know, I dropped the knife or something on it, but it was not a big deal to just get a little bit of paint and just dab it on there. It is awesome. I love it so much. And out of all the countertop paints I have used, although none of them are ever going to be 100% foolproof, like you can cut on it and nothing's going to happen, you know, no countertop is like that. Is it food grade? I would not use this as a food grade thing. You do not cut on any countertop at all. So is it food grade? I don't know. Polyacrylic is used on top of dining room tables. So you use your judgment. Obviously, always use a cutting board, guys. Don't ever cut on top of any countertop. I would never do that. Just see this as a nice wooden table that you may have in your dining room area. So that is the what you would do. You wouldn't put a cup that's super wet on the countertop and just leave it there. You know, that's just think of it as a dining room wood table. Okay, so any questions, let me know. Thank you. Take care, guys. Bye.